Okay, welcome everyone to the Planning Commission meeting for the voting meeting for Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Normally we would meet on the third floor, but because of the conditions downtown and I didn't think it would be a good idea to drag everyone downtown to find a parking space, even though I did find out today that the city garages are open. But still, walking the sidewalks is uh, still not completely safe now. So thank you all for joining us online. And let me review again. We have Peter Rye, James Harris, Nelson DeLeon, William Simfisi. I don't see Danny DiCarlo, but he might join us later. But we do have a quorum, so we can go ahead with the meeting. Do I hear a motion to accept the Planning Commission agenda as distributed?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, James. Second?
Peter.
Okay, Peter. Okay. Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Ayes have it. All right. Very good. Do we have any public comment for this evening? Okay, I will assume that everyone that is here is for a project on the agenda, and we will move forward. First item on the agenda is the subdivision and land development plan reviews. The first one is the Reading Parking Authority parking lot at 213 South 11th Street. And I will hand it over to Jerome for the update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This plan was reviewed by my office on January 19th, 2026. This is a revised final plan that was reviewed by the Planning Commission on at least two other occasions. The plan does consist of a parcel of land, 29,747 square feet, located at 213 South 11th Street. There will be 63 off-street parking spaces. 51 spaces will be standard spaces, 2 spaces will be handicap spaces, and 10 spaces will be large spaces to accommodate larger vehicles. The plan has been revised to be in pretty decent shape. There are just a couple technical issues we had with the turning movements, and we wanted the applicant to verify that an F-250 crew cab would be the largest vehicle, and that the proposed signs be consistent with our requirements. The existing curb, sidewalks, and ramps would be subject to the review of Public Works to verify that those are in decent shape, and also to ensure that the sidewalks have the capabilities of accommodating persons with disabilities. Fire and Rescue Department should verify that the existing and proposed firefighting facilities within this block are acceptable, and that's just a verification that we need from the Fire and Rescue Department. The revised stormwater management plan has been submitted. That too is in good shape, just a few technical items that need to be resolved. A 6-foot wide by 30-foot access easement has been established. As mentioned, this is with the adjacent property, which is currently owned by In-House Realty, located at 237 South 11th Street. This easement will be required as a result of the plan being approved. The other option would be to annex a portion of that property over. The easement was selected by the parking authority. Certification of ownership and maintenance and certification of accuracy would need to be completed. This plan does require municipal improvements, and in the past we have required the municipal improvements agreement to be completed, as well as the stormwater management maintenance agreement for off-street parking facilities. That concludes our review. As I mentioned, the plan is in good enough shape to consider for municipal approval.
Very good. I see that Don Edwards has joined us from the Public Works Department.
Yes, sir.
For those who may not know, Tim Kroll has retired. So very happy retirement to Tim. And I turn it over to Don if there's any comments from Public Works.
As you probably saw, I did send out an email with some comments. And I'm not sure if this is going to be approved with the condition that that any outstanding issues would be resolved after approval. I know one specific issue that came up today, Chris Lavelle in Public Works, who handles our driveway permits, he said that 2 driveways for this property were installed recently without a permit. And I told him I would like to take a look at that. I have no problem with with approval, as long as we can address that issue.
Okay. Very good. I will mention at this time that the City Council is considering this property for housing, for affordable housing. So even if we make a recommendation to approve the plan, that does not mean that City Council will actually go through with the approval. They might go with a different strategy. I will also mention that Wilson Fisi and I mentioned a few years ago that this property would probably be better used as the second new fire department facility, since the one that recommended at 900 on the 900 block of Penn Street was voted down. So this property is kind of up in the air according to what City Council is looking at. I only mentioned these things in case anyone from the Reading Parking Authority is here, and just give them a heads up as to what as to the ideas that are floating about. So like I said, even if we approve the plan, that does not necessarily mean that the City Council will go through with approval. Are there any comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, I mean, this is Peter. We have just this plan in front of us, right? We have no other plans, or this is what we are evaluating and deciding to approve, regardless of whether it gets built or not. Essentially, is that fair?
That is correct. I've given this a a thought over the past 2 weeks since I've been bombarded with different things over the past 2 weeks. And as I see it, it is our we have no reason to hold up this plan.
Hmm.
The Reading Parking Authority has done the work that they were supposed to do. They have been cooperative and have fulfilled the fulfilled our requests. So, we need to vote on the plan and submit it to city council, and then they can make their decision as to what to do. Last month, I did submit all the paperwork to city council and Linda Kelleher to let them know that no, the Reading Parking Authority has a plan for this on rather than what city council has believed in the past. And I will, with whatever decision we make today, I will update them. Do you have any comments, Jerome?
No, I do not. The City of Reading is the landowner, the owner of record, and the Reading Parking Authority is the applicant.
May I comment, Wayne?
Yes, go ahead, Dan. I was wondering how you feel about this because you probably know a lot more about it than I do.
So it's true that the Reading Planning Authority has made efforts to get this approved, and we respect that. Their investments in the engineering in particular. We did receive an unsolicited proposal for an alternative use, most recently, I guess, as December. It is interesting enough that it suggests that we pause and review it and get an appraisal on the property, which we are underway. We don't mean to stop the process that I think is underway here, but I think we do owe it to the citizens of Reading to review this alternative proposal. And so very well come to be your consideration of this plan, but we do need to look at this late-breaking alternative proposal.
Where are we with timing with this plan, with the 90 days? Wayne, Simon, do we know?
Let me see. We reviewed this last month, but I'm not sure if we reviewed it in November.
We reviewed this plan last month, Michelle. So according to that timing, we're still within time.
When was it received? That's the other question.
I'll need to check that.
We sent it in, we dropped it off January 5th.
No, the original plan submission.
Oh, the original. Ooh, let me check. Our first submission was in November. It looks like November 19th.
And I do have a note that we did review it at the November meeting.
Yes.
What was the date of the November meeting?
Oh boy, that's a good question.
November meeting was 18th.
It was on a Wednesday.
No, Oh, yeah. No, it would have been the 18th.
Okay. When your deadline to respond is February 16th.
Okay, which is before our next meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if you did approve this now, what would happen if you approved it? And we do know, I've spoken with the parking authority. They are aware of the new proposition from the city of Reading to use it for a different purpose. And we were thinking of just sitting on this. So if you approve it and there are a few outstanding items, we were just going to pause it until you all decided what you were going to do. But if it does get approved, and then whatever proposition for a different use you all are looking at, if that fell through, then of course we would move forward. If that makes sense the way I'm saying that.
We could do it like we did for the stadium process, where the city has to sign off on the plan. So if you want to recommend conditional approval, you could do so with a condition if they'd be agreeable to the condition that the city agree to moving forward with the plan. Alternatively,
listen-
you could have a special meeting before February 16th or on February 16th, or you could deny the plan if you can cite provisions under the SALDO that have not been met.
Well, if we weren't in this discussion, I think we would probably be conditionally approving this plan today. Sounds like it anyway, and I don't know why we can't do that. And the owner or developer in this case can decide what they want to do as an alternative to
Jerome, the owner has to sign the plan, correct?
Yes, that's noted on the review letter that the certification of ownership and certification of accuracy would need to be endorsed by those parties. So it's a matter of the record owner is the city of Reading.
But I think we ought to just get it off the table, and then whatever actually gets built can
I
be
would recommend
discussed.
I would recommend that you make that a condition of approval specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that on my notes. Does anyone, any of the other commissioners have a comment? Okay, any other comments from the applicant or the public? Okay. With that, I will ask for a motion to grant the final plan approval for the Reading Parking Authority parking lot at 213 South 11th Street, saldo number 2510-0021, subject to the applicant resolving all the issues referenced within the review letter issued by Hawk Valley Associates dated January 19th, 2026, and the Public Works review recently issued, and with the agreement of the city for the lease of the continued lease of the property.
I'll make the motion. I'll move it.
Okay, thank you, Will. Second?
Second from me, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Okay. Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. And then we'll need a motion to authorize the chairman of the planning commission to execute the municipal improvements agreement and the stormwater management maintenance agreement as applicable.
Mr. Chairman, I would recommend you defer that in this
Okay.
case. Once we get the agreements and the ownership and the construction, worst case scenario, you can ratify authorization for execution.
Okay. Very good. Let me just do that. So I withdraw the motion. And we will move on to the to our next plan, which is also the Reading Parking Authority. Let me see here. Miss Miller,
Yes,
you're representing the Parking Authority, correct?
I am.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure, since you don't have your camera on, and I'm a
Oh.
visual person, so.
Sorry, I can. There you go.
Very good. Thank you very much. That helps a lot. So next we move on to the Reading Parking Authority plan for 2010 Maple Street, and I will hand over the update to Jerome.
Okay, thank you. This plan was reviewed by my office on January 21st, 2026. We did issue an interim review that you may have saw on January 19th, 2026. Please use the review issued on January 21st, 2026. This project is located at 210 Maple Street. This is also a parking facility, which is located on 20,505 square feet. The project will create 41 parking spaces. The site is located within the R3 zoning district. They did receive relief from the zoning hearing board. A landscaping plan was submitted. The city arborist has recently commented on it and said it was adequate. We did have a couple technical items with regards to this parking facility, and mentioned about the curb ramp for this project, as well as the parking facilities themselves, which were to enable turning movements within the center turning lanes or the parking lanes, just to ensure that those can be the full turns for ingress and then egress, specifically egress, going through the lanes could be accommodated. And I guess we could use the same thing as far as a large pickup truck. The existing curb, sidewalks, and ramps are located along this property, have been initially reviewed by the Public Works Department. They were in fair condition, and they would make the final determination on whether or not that site accessibility and safety issues will be required. The fire and rescue department will need to review this block to make sure that the fire apparatus will be able to have access to the site, as well as the facilities that are in place. We did have a few stormwater management comments that will need to be addressed. This was previously reviewed, and we did have a technical review and meeting last time. So these are just some cleanup items that need to be addressed. The erosion and sedimentation control plan has been prepared and submitted. We'll need to see the letter of adequacy from the Berks County Conservation District. The Berks County Planning Commission has also issued their review, now dated December 30th, 2025. A municipal improvements agreement will be required for this project, as well as a stormwater management maintenance agreement shall be required. Those are the main issues for this project, and seems like we almost have everything.
The plan was received by the planning office on the 5th of December, and we do have the reviews conducted as mentioned by Jerome.
Don, do you have any comments from Public Works?
I don't have any specific comments. I saw in the review letter, there's references to Public Works again. And if it's appropriate, I would like a condition to address any public works items after approval, if that's what planning commission does today.
Very good. And let me see here. Ms. Miller, do you have any comments?
Only that we have addressed most of these already. I have the turning template for a F-150 Super Cab that we just did today, actually, and it's fine. We might need some refining, but we did prepare that and it will work. The stormwater comments were addressed. The existing curbs, the sidewalk, we are showing that as proposed along Maple Street. That whole length of the sidewalk is shown as being replaced. The stormwater comments, I sent them to Michael already just to have a look. We've done the drafting. We've done all the changes already. So most of these comments have been addressed on our, and I have not had the time to send them in yet, but there were no issues at all. The County Planning Commission letter was almost exactly the same as the city's letter, and all the comments have been addressed. We have received ENS approval from the Conservation District. So with that said, there really are no outstanding comments as technical comments, really, except the legal matters, the agreements, and the emergency comments. We haven't heard anything from that yet. Other than that, the comments have been addressed and I've seen no issues at all.
No, that sounds good, especially since you've received the ENS approval. And I see I made a mistake here. Like I said, copying and pasting is not always the best thing. Very good. Any comments from the commissioners? Okay. Then with no comments from the commissioners, I will ask for a motion to grant the conditional preliminary final plan approval for the Reading Parking Authority Land Development Plan for 210 Maple Street, subject to the applicant resolving all issues referenced within the review letter issued by Hawk Valley Associates dated January 21st, 2026.
So move.
Okay, Nelson. Second?
I'll second.
That's James. Okay, question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. And then we'll need to follow up to authorize the chairman of the planning commission to execute the municipal improvements planning agreement and the stormwater management maintenance agreement.
I'll make the motion.
Who made the motion?
Peter?
Peter? Okay. Second?
I'll second.
I second it.
Okay. Who was that?
It was
James.
both
Hey,
of
James.
us. It was Nelson and I together.
It was in
Okay,
stereo.
I'll take Nelson just for fun.
Double second.
And question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And with that, we will move on to our next plan. which is the Iglesia Cristiana Casa del Rey annexation and land development plan at 556 North 9th Street. I see that John Hofford is here, so I will ask him to speak after Jerome gives us the update to this.
Okay, we received this application. It will be a preliminary / final plan application. It is for an annexation and also land development plan that has been filed for this project. There are 2 parcels of land to be considered, 556 North 9th Street, as well as 544 North 9th Street. One of the parcels is an existing church. The other parcel is a smaller parcel that is being proposed to be developed with some parking spaces, I believe 4 spaces. The development is located within the R3 zoning district. The applicant has received relief from the zoning hearing board for certain issues regarding the off-street parking area that was issued by Appeal 2023-14 on September 13th, 2023. With regards to the annexation itself, they will be 2 parcels of land and a common deed description is required. John Hofford's office has already completed that effort. We have also noted just a few technical things that are required as part of an annexation plan, and the applicant's engineer and surveyor have agreed to those items that need to be addressed. There are some issues that we thought that might be a problem with respects to the proposed driveway, and we have been since corrected. There will be no new driveway located along North 9th Street, so therefore PennDOT approval is not required, nor do they need to show the driveway. The point of ingress and egress for the 4 parking spaces will be accomplished through the alley that's located in the rear of the property. So the 10-foot wide alley will be, I'm sorry, was that a 15-foot? Yeah, it's a 10-foot wide alley. X Court, ECKS, which provides vehicular ingress and egress. It's my understanding that it is being utilized now in a similar fashion. So we would just want to make sure and coordinate with Public Works that the turning movements can be all accomplished utilizing the alley. So good news for the applicant. No PennDOT HOP is required for this project. The curbs and sidewalks and ramps appear to be in good condition along the church's property and fair condition for the parcel that's being is going to be annexed. So it would be up to Public Works to make a final determination on what the required site improvements would be for that site. We'd asked also for a few notes to be added to the plan to be generally consistent with other plans that have been approved. The Berks County Planning Commission needed to review this plan, and the certificates of ownership and accuracy need to be completed. If there are no curbs and sidewalks, certainly the driveway ramps are taken off, then a municipal improvements agreement is not required. In lieu of the municipal improvements agreement, we could also look at other options that we have done so in the past for smaller projects. There are no other comments with this project. If you're satisfied with the applicant's response, the plan can be approved subject to those conditions.
Very good. Did we actually receive comments from the Berks County Planning Commission?
No, you have not yet. I just emailed Michelle and Shanice to find out where they are in the review process. Obviously, they're gone for the day, but hopefully I'll get an answer tomorrow. I know it was submitted through the city to the Berks County Planning Commission, but no response has been received. Relative to Public Works, I did get an email from Chris Lowell, regarding he would like to see the sidewalk in front of 544, which would be not the church property, but the property that's being developed at this time, that he would like to see new sidewalk to go in. The curbs are fine, but the sidewalk needs to be replaced. He was under the impression as well that if in fact a new driveway were to have been installed off of North 9th Street, that would have been covered with those improvements. Now that we've clarified that there is no PennDOT HOP required for this, the sidewalk does have to be replaced. So with that, those are the two outside agencies, one that I've heard from, one that I have not.
Very good. Michelle, with just that little bit of sidewalk, do we still need a municipal improvements agreement, or do we do the minor agreement?
If that's the only improvement, we can just do a minor
Very good.
agreement. There's no need for a full agreement. Simon, do we know when this was sent to the county?
Just a minute. Let me find that information, Michelle. I will share with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know when that was done, John?
No, actually, I have no record of it being sent to the Planning Commission. That's why a follow-up email to them, just to see, in fact, did they receive it from the city or not?
Yeah. Okay. Because sadly, I think Emily usually takes care of that, and she's not here today. She's
not here.
Top of her head.
They did submit the referral package to the city of Reading for their completion, and that would have then been endorsed and then forwarded on to the Berks County Planning Commission. That was accomplished at the initial application.
Okay.
And the date of the initial application?
Looks like it was October 27th. Is that correct, John?
No, I mean, that's when the plans were initially prepared, but in fact, due to reasons, the church only picked them up. I believe it was somewhere around the beginning of December. So the date of my letter for submission will not match the actual date of submission to the city.
Okay.
Yeah. And how many days does the Berks County Planning Commission have, Michelle? I don't remember.
30.
30.
30. So that's why I wanted to.
Okay.
I mean, if we're not up against a timeline, John, if you want to wait till next month.
If you want to see my smiling face again, that's fine.
I'm going to see you a couple times between now and then, so you know.
I am sure. But actually, no, I do not believe in this particular project, especially with the inclement weather that we've had. We're not going to go to construction. We're not going to do sidewalk repair. So 1 month slight delay waiting for some response from the Berks County Planning Commission is not a hindrance in this case.
Okay. So if that's the situation, we can work on the minor agreement in the meantime, and then you'll just be ready for shovel and ground.
Right. So if you would, Michelle, just simply email me your typical agreement, and then what we'll do is we'll follow up with roughly a cost estimate for the replacement of the sidewalk, as it appears that is the only public item that we have to deal with.
Okay. So if the commission is so inclined and we're not up against the 90 days, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So we have until February, whatever that meeting date is.
Mm-hmm.
We won't have any deemed denial or anything.
I don't think so. I'll confirm those dates, Michelle, and I will share with you.
Yeah, I believe this is the first time we're seeing this.
This is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if the commission I'd recommend tabling it till next month.
Okay. Very good. I was kind of feeling the same way, but for a different reason. But thankfully, John and Jerome have cleared up the issue about the entrance on the 9th Street.
Mm-hmm.
So because I do see on the plan there's like this turnaround area on the plan.
Yes.
And so if the applicant wants to deal with that, that's their decision, in my opinion. Any comments from the commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Will. I have a question. It's peculiar, this alley in the rear. On the east side, what is shown on the plan is a 10-foot wide alley macadam. And then on the west side is X Court, X with an S. Is that, I presume that's the correct spelling of it. And that's noted as brick. So we have two alleys side by side, or is X Court, if this question for Public Works, have we confirmed, is X Court a street or an alley?
That I don't know the answer to that at this time.
Okay. And then it goes into a section there on the south side. It's labeled as brick alley. And so I haven't seen that before, Mr. Chairman. Have you? Where we have two alleys? I don't know what that means, what significance it is, but we do need to know if one is a public street or not, I believe.
Well, if I may, we did
Yes.
research this. The composition of the alley itself, yes, it is 10 foot wide. It is known as X, E-C-K-S, X Court. But the composition of it, this is an older alley and that's within the city limits. Most of it is laid brick. So, and that would have been the western portion of that particular alley or passageway. The right side or the east side is a overlay of macadam, as it was along the back of the church building itself. Who installed it, I don't know, but I can only tell you that that is the current condition of what I'll call X Court.
So the whole thing, Mr. Humbert, you believe is X Court, just
Yes.
but it's labeled a 10-foot wide alley. But you mean really it's only a section that's macadamed?
Right, approximately
on the east side.
7 feet width of it is a brick alley. 3 to 4 feet varying in width is an actual macadam surface.
I see. Okay, so it's not two separate parcels or
No,
alleys
it's not
or
two separate
whatever,
10-foot
streets or
alleys.
whatever. And did your research reveal that it's a private alley then, not a public street?
Whether it's maintained by the city, I can't say. I don't believe so. But it
Okay,
is
that's
on
the
the
point,
official
exactly.
map.
Just to clarify, X Alley or X Court does connect Green Street with Greenwich Street.
Greenwich.
And as I recall, I did look at this on the city's alley map,
Mhm.
and it is on there. But I think we can verify that, which would mean it would be a public alley.
Yes, I can confirm that based on mapping that I've received from the city. It is shown and labeled on the official map.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Is that the lot currently is dirt? Is that right,
I'm sorry, was that
John?
directed to me?
Yeah.
Would you
Or-
repeat that?
What the 544 lot? What is it?
The 544 used to be another property. It had
Mhm.
separate buildings on it. It had an address of 544. The actual church is known as 556 North
Mhm.
9th Street. And it's our intent, once we annex or merge
Mhm.
all these properties or descriptions together as one, it will continue with the address of 556 North
Mhm.
9th Street, identifying the church itself with that address.
What's the plan for the surface of that?
It will eventually be macadamed.
Okay.
Currently, it's proposed to be a mud-free with a base layer of macadam. And as the church gets additional funding or monies, they will then top it with a wearing coarse macadam surface. That is one of the plan revisions that we did and is currently shown on page 2 to address Hawk Valley or Jerome's review letter.
Thank you. I'm also curious about this exit court alley. So it's quite old, as you said. It's partially the original brick. Looks pretty rutted, and then some macadam overlay here and there. Who ultimately maintains this alley? That's my question.
I'd have to defer to Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, if it's a public road, it would be maintained by the city. I would like to offer something, and I don't want to contradict Jerome. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's written there, but for an alley, if you just do one layer, 3 inches of what's called 19 millimeter asphalt. A while ago, it was called ID3. That should be sufficient for an alley. I think within the last year, we did alleys in Westchester, Chester County, and we used 3 inches of this 19 millimeters. So I'd like to offer that as an option here. Might be a cost-effective option.
Mr.
something
Chairman,
that the city would do?
point being, if I may, if it's not a public alley, that's the responsibility of the city, then it falls upon the adjoining owners, is usually my understanding how it works with alleys.
Yes,
So that's why
since
Go ahead.
since it's on the city alley map, that would mean that multiple people have access to this alley or court, and can utilize it for their point of ingress and egress. So it's not just it will not just be the church having access to this, it will be others as well.
I think that pretty much explains why this should be a public alley, and is probably a public alley. If I was a betting man, I would say this is a city road.
Generally, because the city doesn't have the equipment to plow such an alley, it does fall upon the neighbors to clear the alley, as the alley in back of my house, which my neighbors and I cleared yesterday. So and I'm pretty sure the alley in back of my house is on the city, is on the city records. But as I said, the city doesn't have the equipment, which I've complained about for many years. The city doesn't have the equipment that, for example, Berlin, Germany has to clear the sidewalks and the alleyways. So it does fall upon the neighbors to usually clear these 10-foot alleys, even if they are on the city map.
One thing I can tell you is that Westchester Borough, Chester County, which is a much more affluent municipality, we did clear the snow off alleys, but I recognize that it's a much different socioeconomic situation here in Reading. Maybe someday we'll be capable of clearing snow from those alleys.
Very good. It might be something that Jamie might want to consider in an upcoming capital budget.
Nothing wrong with aspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, And thank you for joining us, Jamar. Okay, with that, are there any other comments? Okay, do I hear a
Jamie
motion? What? Oh, go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry. Jamie Baez here. I just wanted, I know that I wasn't able to get on the call there were some technical difficulties. So I want to apologize because since you mentioned it, I actually have some comments, but it is on the 213 South 11th Street. I don't know if I should hold off since that was already voted on, or if I should make my comments now, whatever you think is most appropriate.
We did vote on that, and what we'll do is at the end of the meeting, during the public comments section, at the end of the meeting, we'll discuss that.
Okay,
And
thank you.
get your feedback, but I did mention a few things about what City Council is considering, and I lost him. But Dan has backed up what's going on. So we did take that into consideration when we made our vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, perfect. Then I must have missed that then, because I was just going to say that we are pushing for other uses, especially me being the councilman for that district. I'm like, wait, let's stop. And because we know there's a shortage of 5,000 apartments and we need to fill that void. And so there are conversations that are ongoing. I just wanted to make sure that that was known and in transparency. But other than that, those are my only comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Someone else mentioned?
Mr. Chairman, this is Don Edwards. If any of the councilman's comments are, one of the conditions of approval was addressing Public Works comments. So if the councilman, any of his comments can work through me as far as approval afterwards, I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Don. Okay, back to the church. Do I hear a motion to table the preliminary final plan for Iglesia Cristiana Casa del Rey annexation and land development plan at 556 North 9th Street?
So move.
Okay,
I'll
Nelson.
second.
Okay. Well, okay, question on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, opposed? Very good.
Commission and staff, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us, John.
Have a nice
Thank
evening.
you.
Thanks, John.
See you, Butch.
Bye-bye.
All of our plans were about parking tonight.
Most of them, yeah.
All our land development plans, yeah.
Next up, we have a waiver request for 601 Penn Street, and I'll let's see here. Should I turn it over to Jerome, I guess?
Let's do it to Michelle.
Okay, yeah, that might be better.
Thanks for the warning. Anyway, I saw Mark is on Attorney Cox on the phone. As you will recall, this plan was a request for a waiver was submitted to you last month. Jerome and I had a couple subsequent conversations, and I spoke with Attorney Cook as to what we interpreted that the Planning Commission was looking for in consideration of basically this reuse of this property. They did submit something for your consideration with what I'll classify as a partial waiver. So Mark or your consultant, if you want to take it from there, or Jerome, if you have anything further to add.
Not at this time.
Good. All right, great. So, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mark Cuck on behalf of the applicant, the developer. I think you all know we had a fairly lengthy conversation at the last Planning Commission meeting. Since that time, we have engaged in some pretty significant discussions, I would say, with Michelle and Jerome, and have been able to assemble some documentation and information, which we would then assemble into essentially a minor or a final plan of record. And I know I think Jan's still on here too as well, but the goal would be to submit to you something that would cover the bases that were concerning to both the consultants from Jerome's standpoint and from Michelle's standpoint, and also from our standpoint, as you well know, trying to keep our costs at bay with respect to this particular project, which, as you all know, is an interior renovation and adaptive reuse from the office space to the residential units. We've also had discussions with Shannon in the zoning office to clarify some points that she had questioned or raised prior to the last planning commission office. She's contemplating those discussions and that information as well. So I think personally we've made some significant progress. We were originally hoping to be able to utilize the original 1977 plan. I had forgotten, as had Peter and from our client's office, that we actually did have a survey from 2021, and we've submitted that kind of in a general package for Jerome and Michelle and for the commission to take a look at, to say, hey, here's what we're proposing to submit. We started with the original waiver, asking for a complete waiver. We understand the commission was not in favor of that. And now we're, at the point where we think we have assembled the information that would be helpful and beneficial to everybody, and would be requesting kind of your direction to be able to submit that as a final package or a package to be reviewed as soon as we can. So that's kind of the nutshell. Happy to answer questions, comments.
Mark, do you want to hit the highlights as to what you're proposing on the plan? And I know one outstanding issue that
Sure.
I would be looking for the commission's direction on, and the chairman had a couple comments as well, would be reciting the entire agreement with city council on the plan for recording, or recording a memorandum, basically like a declaration, restrictions or something. We'd have to come up with a title for, against the property.
Right. And so if you took a look at what we had provided, some of the highlights were that we had been asked to give, the survey, which we did identify. I think you were also concerned about elevations. We've provided copies of those elevations. We'd be looking at adding notes to the plan, I think, as we had discussed somewhat at the last meeting. But yes, I think at this point we have proposed adding the complete decision, and our concern is not to record the entire settlement agreement. It's basically 5 pages. The relevant portions of that settlement agreement, my opinion, consist of paragraph 1, right? And those are the requirements that we were to comply with as part of that settlement agreement, that essentially is being, confirmed and checked by Shannon on behalf of the zoning department. So we'd be respectfully requesting that we record a memorandum, or just attach the note onto the face sheet, which would be the memorandum of those terms of the settlement agreement that we agree and work through with Michelle as a solicitor to the Planning Commission.
Yeah, my opinion is I would like the entire agreement recorded one way or the other, either as a memorandum or as notes. And I'll defer to the commission as to how they would like to do that.
Yeah, personally, I agree that the decision between the city and the applicant should be recorded as a restriction, and not as a restriction on the deed. I don't know if we can do that.
That's the concern I have, Mr. Chairman. Can it be read too literally? Right? That's the concern.
Yeah.
There's a lot of irrelevant information
that is laid out that the restrictions are only for this use. I would suspect is what the applicant's looking for.
I'd like a very narrowly tailored, explanation of what that settlement agreement says. I think we can accomplish that. Michelle and I have worked together quite well in the past. I just don't want there to be the full settlement agreement to be recorded in the chain of title. It can create issues with lenders. I mean, the attorneys on this call know that the bank takes a look at that, a lender takes a look at that, and they're like, what does this mean? And then they start digging into it, gentlemen, and it just makes things much more complicated for us moving forward. That's primarily the focus of adding that settlement agreement, or my concern about adding that settlement agreement in its entirety to the chain of title.
Mr. Chairman, this is Will.
Go ahead, Will.
I'm going to make a suggestion that on the plan be recorded an executive summary of the memorandum that's mutually agreed upon by both the applicant and the city solicitor, and then the remainder of the document then be recorded as well. I mean, the full document as well.
Yeah, and I think the applicant's concern is some of the language may hinder them in the future. I mean, this is the commission's decision.
Right, which is why I'm suggesting an executive summary that would address those particular concerns.
Correct, but if the entire agreement is ultimately recorded, I think that's the applicant's concern.
It is, Will.
But
fair enough.
The agreement is
Quick
recorded.
question.
The agreement is recorded with the clerk of courts. Is that correct?
It is part of the docket. That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Is it, Mark? Because last time we talked, we were going to confirm that.
I did not check on that. I will double check. I know the docket number is referenced in the actual settlement agreement itself.
Okay. I think as long as the docket number is included in the memorandum of understanding, or whatever we decide to record, the executive summary, that is fine.
If the agreement is recorded with the clerk of court or with the pathonetary, I'm fine with that. We have to confirm if it was recorded with the pathonetary.
Jamie, you had a question?
I'm just curious. Maybe I'm not. It's not my scope of practice, right? Like law. But why would the full agreement why would we want the full agreement to be included? Because I kind of heard from their solicitor, their lawyer, as to why they wouldn't, or what it can cause in the future. Well, why would we want the full agreement, or why would we need that, and not allow for the executive summary to be suffice? Or, I don't know. I'm just trying to get an understanding as to what the difference is.
My concern was just missing something that may be of importance. But if we can agree on what the executive summary would say, I'm fine with that. I just don't want questions down the road as to what is supposed to occur, particularly when this has like a 5-year look back, for lack of a better term. So I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And should this plan be transferred, should this property be transferred and somebody else undertake development, there's no questions as to what has to be done, that we have an enforceable.
Michelle, I agree with you. I think it has to be crystal clear. I'm with you on that.
Right. As long as if the property is transferred to another owner as the same use, yeah, then the agreement would have to stay, would have to be enforced. My concern is that what if this building's turned back into office space? Well, then we have a totally different concern, and that's
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I was just going to say, Mr. Chairman, that I think that the vast majority of the contents of the settlement agreement have to do with construction, right? The number of units, the square footages of the units that are going to be on the various floors. So, for there to be anything different, I mean, that's going to all be approved. There's going to be as-built submitted to, building and trades. The city's going to have approval over that. And so, to go back to office, I think you'd almost have to, Michelle, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'd almost have to go back through zoning because the adaptive reuse has now converted this building from office space to residential, and specifically the number of units that are provided for. So, by the time we get done and occupied, I don't think there's going to be much left for the interpretation of the settlement agreement, right? It's all going to be completed, I think, with the exception of the parking study, which, I mean, that's a pretty clear, condition that's in there. So the vast majority of what's in that settlement agreement, Mr. Chairman, focuses on the construction aspects of the residential, the conversions. So
It would be another revised plan of record if that were the case. So we're right now going to be considering a revised plan of record because it's going from office space to partially residential.
Mhm.
And if it were to go back to something else, then another revised plan of record would be required.
But I think also, Jerome, you'd need to have zoning relief too, because the
Yeah.
adaptive reuse already has it converted to resi, right? So
Unless it's a use permitted by right.
that's true. Correct.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, okay. Very good.
It sounds
think
like the direction that I'm getting from the commission is an executive summary.
Any other comments from the other commissioners about that?
Maybe if I can say something, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to mention that we do have a letter of concern from Schumann Development Group regarding this property, and he has highlighted some comments in there. I could share a copy with the commission for them to have an idea of what it is his concerns are.
Oh, actually, we're going to talk about that next.
Okay.
Mark, can you confirm as to whether or not it was recorded or not?
I will do that. Yes, absolutely, Michelle.
Great. Okay. Then reviewing the plan so far, I don't see a trash disposal plan, which is normally required on a minor land development plan.
We did not get to the submission of a plan yet.
Okay.
Right now last month we were discussing the sketch plan application and possibly the provisions that would be relevant to a revised plan of record or land development plan. We then since have come to a form of understanding that a land development plan would not be required. It would be a revised plan of record focusing on specific conditions and issues. So, as we move forward, the plan will has yet to be submitted.
That is correct.
Okay. So I think the next step for the applicant and Mr. Cox to look at is this trash disposal plan. The submission in 2022 talked about using the garage door that was recently installed on Penn Street to hold the trash containers, and then the trash would be picked up on Penn Street. There has been some concerns brought to my attention that this could be a problem. However, I don't know how the trash was disposed of previously. Supposedly it was taken out of the back and then taken out a different way. So I think that needs to be researched if this is the best way of trash disposal. I would suggest that if the applicant wants to empty the trash from that garage door on Penn Street, that the pickup times should be limited between 5 and 7 a.m.
We'll take a look at that, Mr. Chairman.
Because, if we have a trash truck sitting in Penn Street at 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning, that's going to conduct a significant problem.
Okay.
The other thing you mentioned that there's a traffic study required?
No, parking study.
Parking study.
Yeah, the settlement agreement. So if I may be a little bit clearer, so the zoning relief requested was to reduce the parking calculation, right? And that was not granted, but there was language in the settlement agreement that a reduction can be considered in the future with the support of city council. And I'm paraphrasing, based on a calculation or a study that's to be done after 80% or 90% occupancy, something like that. So it's completely, down the road in terms of looking at a reduction. It was tied into the need for the apartments that Commissioner Baez talked about a little bit earlier, and the parking and all that as we went through the process with the zoning hearing board. So,
okay, there seems to be concern about loading and drop off. From my review, there are only 3 15-minute spaces on Penn Street, although there are 5 parking spaces along Penn Street.
Okay.
I think the commission needs to consider that all 5 of those spaces should be 15-minute parking spaces. And also the 2 spaces on North 6th Street that are adjacent to this building should be also 15-minute spaces, considering that we have 178 sleeping units in this building. So I think that's something that we need to review and see if because if the applicant, I feel that if the applicant doesn't agree, we will need a full-blown parking study and a study for how many spaces we do need for drop-off, because as has been pointed out, this is the narrowest section of Penn Street from between 2nd Street and that's 11th, between 2nd and 11th. The concern is, of course, if we have parking and double parking stacked up, that the flow of traffic will be hindered. Now, of course, we do have police there that can handle on bikes, that can handle handing out parking tickets, but that's not really the way we want to go.
Not what you want.
Our police department has better things to do than hand out parking tickets for people who are double parked.
Understood.
So, do you have anything to add, Michelle?
No, I believe you're going to get a plan that addresses your concerns, or at least what we were looking at for a waiver before, or to be encompassed in the waiver request. I was just looking for direction regarding the agreement, how you want it encompassed on the plan.
Okay. Any comments from the commissioners?
What are we really debating here? So the last meeting, there was a request for a waiver. That's we said we weren't going to do that, right? So we're working out some sort of compromise here.
I would say it's the prelude to the submission of the revised plan of record.
Okay.
So they'll be asking
That's
for,
fair.
in the long run, a partial waiver rather than a full waiver.
Correct.
Okay. But that's yet to come, or no?
Yeah, essentially, Commissioner Rye, we've tried to discuss with your professionals what would be acceptable under the circumstances. In our position, this is a very limited aspect from a planning standpoint, based on everything we've talked about before. So,
Okay. All right, thanks.
So I don't believe there's any action by the commissioners tonight unless you've heard something that you would disagree with or want to see something extra additional in the plan.
I think we got the direction, Michelle, I was looking for. And if you and Jerome are comfortable with that direction, so we know, exactly where we're going, then I think we're in good shape.
I'm good. I mean, we've had the conversations. We'll see what you submit.
Okay. Sounds good. I know Simon wanted to raise some question or comment. I'm curious to see what Mr. What his comment, what the letter there is.
I believe I covered everything that's in.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question? Was that letter submitted to the Planning Commission directly?
Yes.
All right. And would we be able to get a copy of that?
That is up to Michelle.
I would ask for you to submit a right to know request.
I figured you'd ask that, but I wanted to just make sure. We'll get that right into you. And did that come from Mr. Schuman individually or his development group or one of his other entities? So I know what to ask for. Who's the author of the letter, if I may ask?
So I think you should just ask for any
correspondence,
a blanket request for any documents relating to 601 Penn Street over the past 12 months.
It was issued by Schuman Development Group.
Mr. Chairman, that could be a voluminous request for the solicitors to deal with. That's not my goal here, right? So I wanted to just try to keep it as simple as possible.
Let's keep it for the last 60 days.
Okay, that's fair.
Or Jerome stated it was from Schuman Development Group, if you want to be specific.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mm-hmm.
let us just note for the record, meaning the minutes, that we did receive that correspondence.
Yes. Yes, I think that is important because it is an objection. It is an objection to the current development by, according to the letter, a number of commercial owners in the area.
Yeah, Will is correct. It is directed to the Planning Commission.
Appreciate that. Understand. We'll make a right to know request and we'll take a look at it.
Mark, if you could just send me a copy once you submit that, because the law department's the official.
I figured Fred gets most of them, so but yes, we'll get you a copy, Michelle.
And that will entice me to follow up with him.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any questions or comments for me this evening? I want to thank everybody for their thoughtful discussion, and we appreciate your consideration and look forward to getting something into you to take a look at. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Well, good night.
Wayne.
Thanks all.
So, yeah,
Wayne,
James,
can you hear me?
yeah.
I wanted to ask. I'm a little confused. What is it? What letter was sent in? What is that about?
Okay, there was a letter of objection to the submitted plan that was sent to the Planning Commission. Now, of course, some of the things in the letter are exaggerations, I would say.
Appreciate you hearing that, Mr. Chairman.
And that is
So
an objection to any. Sorry,
What's that?
you said that's a letter of objection.
Yes, it's a letter of objection that basically wants to shut the plan down.
Let's be specific.
Okay.
It's in regards to 601 Penn Street request to waive planning review. So this was in regards to the waiver request for the land development plan, which we've now agreed that a revised plan of record would be the proper course of action. So that was the objection.
Yeah. And with my comments today, and if Michelle could forward my email to Mr. Koch that I sent to you this afternoon, detailing what I said earlier about the parking and the trash narrative. I think that's going to cover everything. I think that will cover the concerns in the letter.
With the understanding that they were discussed tonight and some of them may not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because I boiled it down to what I believe is the significant things that the Planning Commission needs to look at.
The relevant concerns.
The relevant concerns that Mr. Koch needs to know about. And that on a normal revised plan of record we ask for.
Thank you. I appreciate the clarification and very informative. And I think I've learned something new, and we learn something new every day. I think this is the first I've heard of one of these in the 2 years being on the Planning Commission as liaison. So I appreciate the thorough educational moment.
And Jamie, if you have a moment at some time, let me know and we can talk about some of these. If you want any further clarifications about procedures and things like that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it, Michelle.
Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate your time this evening.
Very good. With that, we need to have a motion to table.
You don't have anything in front of you, I don't believe.
Oh, okay. Very good. This was just like a discussion.
Yeah, this would have occurred last week with the workshop, but in consideration,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
postponed to this week.
That's fine. That's great. So then up next, we have our plans requiring reaffirmation. The first one is the Duca parking facility at 1144 Moss Street. Do you have any comments, Jerome?
No.
We did receive a request for reaffirmation on 23rd of January for this property to be reaffirmed. We would like to request the commission to consider a reaffirmation for this particular property.
Any questions from the commissioners? Okay, hearing none, do I hear a motion to reaffirm the preliminary final plan approval for the Duca Properties Parking Facilities Annexation and Land Development Plan, PC number 2023-113 at 1144 Moss Street, originally conditionally approved on February 27th, 2024. Resolution number 14-2024.
I'll make a motion.
Move. Second.
Question,
Okay,
Oh,
so I think I heard James.
question, Mr. Chairman.
Nelson, and then question on the motion? Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, you say 1144, on the agenda, it's 1136 to 1148. I'm trying to remember what.
The Public Works.
The parking side, we decided only on one number. Is it 1144? Is that right?
Yes, the Public Works Department
Okay.
determined that 1144 would be appropriate for the parking side,
That's
and
right.
1125 would be acceptable for the
apartment side.
residential.
Right. Okay, just want to be sure. That's good. The motion is good then.
Yep. And then I fashioned the motion according to the original resolution from 2024.
Great.
Okay. Any other questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, The ayes have it, and we'll go on to the next one. Next one is to reaffirm the preliminary final plan approval for Duca Properties Apartments at Land Development Plan at 1125 Moss Street. Any comments,
move it.
Jerome?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, I hear a motion from Will. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, James? Okay, question on the motion? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Next one up is to reaffirm the preliminary final annexation land development plan approval for 138 South 8th Street. I'm trying to remember what this is. I should have looked it up.
Was this the conditional use?
No, this was actually a land development plan.
This was our land.
Go ahead.
This was a land development plan which required, as one of the requirement was it needed the DEP, and last week we did get that from the developer. That approval, so he did submit it for a reaffirmation so that he can move forward.
Ah,
Yeah, it was also an annexation as well as a land development plan for the parking facility.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The 200 block was the conditional use. That's right.
yeah. No. It's hard to keep track. There's a lot going on in 8th and 9th Streets now.
Yes.
Which is a great thing. Yeah, so great. So that's why they asked for the reaffirmation, because they received the DEP approval, which, as we know, takes a long time. So do I hear a motion to reaffirm the preliminary final annexation and land development plan approval for 138 South 8th Street, PC number 2023-117, originally conditionally approved on March 26th, 2024, resolution number 21-2024.
So move.
Okay, Nelson, second.
I'll second.
Okay, James, question on the motion? Okay, hearing none. Those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, very good. As oh God, his name escapes me now. Well, anyway, the commentator who used to be on WEEU many years ago, who might be dead 15 or 20 years now. On to page 3. Next up is the conditional use application for 313 Elm Street. Sadly, Emily's not here. Do we have any comments from Jerome or Simon?
This is a conditional use which was submitted to hearing board. The hearing board granted the applicant a variance to convert one family dwelling into a 2-family dwelling. And in section 600 and 804C, the conversion is permitted by right, permitted in R3 district by conditional use. The total habitable are for both proposed units. Proposed unit apartment C. Apartment C does not comply with the minimum requirement habitable area for the 3-bedroom dwelling. The unit previously marked as apartment. Apartment B will now be used as storage. This property does not currently have parking, therefore it is non-conforming for the 2 parking spaces. However, the applicant confirmed that he will be able to provide 3 parking spaces. This one meets the minimum requirement number of spaces for the 2 dwelling, and no relief is required. Based on this, we are requesting the Planning Commission to consider granting the approval for this application to move forward to the council. Upon the council recommendation, the staff do have recommendations, and one of them, the staff will recommend that the new architectural plan that is showing the area previously shown as apartment B as storage. This plan should be included in site B with the zoning table for the dimensional requirements. And then also staff will request that submission of the minor land development for the change of the use and creation of parking area is given. The zoning violation regarding the upper unpermitted fence in the front yard is also corrected. So this is to request the Planning Commission to consider granting an approval for this conditional use to move forward to the council.
Any questions from the commissioners?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm here on behalf of the applicant, and the applicant is Mr. Figueroa is also here tonight. We are scheduled for a conditional use hearing in front of City Council on February 2nd, and we are asking for the approval. We made the revisions to make this to a 2-bedroom apartment. The deficiency in the one apartment is 47 square feet, very, very minimal. And we believe that working with our engineer, I mean, might have to change some space in a closet. That's about the equivalent of that. And we can also confirm we'll also confirm the building height with our engineer. But it was reduced from our initial proposal of 3 apartments down to 2. It is now 2 apartments with storage area. These are larger apartments, and again, it's going to be renovating it into from a 1 unit to 2-bedroom, minimal impact on the area.
One comment that I do have is that if the let's see here, originally what was shown as apartment B,
which is now storage.
Yeah, which is now storage. If the owner, it's not going to work. I did have an idea. Oh no, could be. If the owner decides to remove the kitchen, they could actually add another bedroom to apartment C and increase the square footage. Because it looks like at the top of the stairs there, they could put a door there, or there is an existing door that goes into the kitchen. Eliminate the kitchen, have it as a hallway that goes to a separate bedroom. They can include that as apartment C. They can include that with apartment C and actually have a 3-bedroom apartment.
3-bedroom apartment, and that will have, I mean, every apartment needs to have separate living, sleeping, cooking, and bathroom facilities. It would still be compliant in that manner, as far as I can tell.
Yes, because the kitchen's on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other bedrooms are on the 3rd floor with direct access. So they don't need to make all of it storage if they decide to eliminate the 2nd kitchen on the 2nd floor. But I would double check with buildings and trades about that.
Okay. Mr. Figueroa, do you have any comments? Are you still on the call?
Good evening, everyone. This is Figueroa. My only comment would be, I'm only looking to that apartment apartment B, I just want it to be 2 bedrooms, not 3 bedrooms. That should be my only comment. And I understand what he is saying about not using apartment C as storage and adding some of that to apartment C to make it a 3-bedroom apartment. But I'm only looking at 2 bedrooms.
Oh, and that's totally your decision, sir. I'm just pointing that out as a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, what we're most likely to do is do a slight redesign to get those additional 47 square feet to make that, for it to be a two, get some square footage, make it a 2-bedroom apartment, or a slight redesign to get that 47 square feet.
So
The only thing I might want to caution you on is just to confirm that you comply with the square footage requirement for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom.
We do okay, so I realize that we do comply with a 2-bedroom, and if we made it a 2-bedroom, that it would be fully compliant. It would exceed requirements for a 2-bedroom. Is that correct?
I was just asking you to confirm if there's modifications that have been made to the application. You confirm that with the planning and zoning office.
All right.
yeah, because according to the report, they're 47 square feet short
For a 3-bedroom,
for a 3-bedroom.
and they exceed for a 2-bedroom. It
So-
exceeds for a 2-bedroom.
Oh, great.
So is that, Jerome, am I correct? It exceeds requirements for a 2-bedroom.
That's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, that's up to the applicant to decide what to do with that storage area. So, but if the applicant would prefer to just have a 2-bedroom, which makes sense, considering that my parents have rented properties for 50 years. It might be easier on the applicant. But like I said, that's up to him.
Right. Yeah, he will, between now and the time of the hearing next week, he'll work with his engineer to confirm that it would either be a 2-bedroom, or reconfigured for the square footage for a 3-bedroom.
Okay. Very good. Okay, any comments from the commissioners? Okay, hearing none, do I hear there it is. Do I hear a motion to recommend to City Council to approve the conditional use application for the conversion of 313 Elm Street from a single-family dwelling into a 2-family dwelling as specified by the Zoning Hearing Board decision dated October 8th, 2025, and the staff report dated January 21st, 2026.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, James. Second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. Sorry, I got distracted there. I noticed that Scott joined us. Okay, question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. So there we go. Thank you for joining us, Joan.
All right,
We
thank you.
always appreciate you coming to explain everything.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, next up is the zoning map amendment for 229, 243, and 245 Washington Street, which is basically, from my research, a recommendation to transfer 243 and 245 Washington Street to 229 Washington Street. Scott's with it. You're on this one, Scott, right?
Yes, correct. Good evening, everybody. I think you've seen this project before. This was the Helping Harvest BCIU, basically the GoggleWorks 2 project. We had gone through the whole land development process and then realized that the two adjoining lots, 243 and 245, are going to be annexed to 229, and we can't have a zoning map split or a zoning line splitting that. So basically the request has been that we're going to annex those two parcels and move them into the CC zoning district as well, which is basically what 229 is. The county has reviewed this. They're okay with it. You guys, I think honestly, I think we looked at this previously, but I think council wants a recommendation. We did have a public meeting. Only one person showed up, so there was no objections to it. And so at this point, I would be looking for a recommendation so we can go to council in March with this proposed amendment to the zoning map.
All right. Any comments, Michelle?
I have no comments. Were you concerned? I know we spoke earlier about the address. If we would just want to confirm the address, Chairman and I. So
is that for me?
No, that was for Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wrote it into the motion. So
yeah,
so,
there was a concern that Wayne would, if 229 was already in the district. Scott, do you know?
Yeah, yes, it is in the zoning district.
It's in CC or it's in
yes,
R3?
Correct. Yes.
So 229 is already in the CC.
That's correct. And the intent is to annex the two I'll call them residential lots, former residential lots, to that overall deed description.
So, okay, so that's why you use the 229 address in the application.
That's
okay.
Correct.
Yeah. That makes sense then. Okay.
Okay. Very good. Any questions from the commissioners on this?
The 243 is already gone, right? That was taken down.
Yes.
243 and 245 were both demolished.
Both demolished. Okay.
If you go down there now, you will see that they are building the elevators.
Mm-hmm.
And that the UGI has a huge gas regulator on 243.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the project's really moving forward nicely. I'm sure that huge gas, the gas regulator is there to handle the kitchens for Helping Harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions? All right, do I hear a motion to recommend to City Council to approve the zoning map amendment to transfer 243 and 245 Washington Street from the R3 zoning district into the CC zoning district, and confirming that 229 Washington Street is already in the CC zoning district?
I'll do that.
Need that. And was that Peter?
Yes.
Okay. And do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll take Nelson. Or no, I'll take James.
Yeah.
Nelson seconded the last one. Cross that out. Okay. Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it.
Thank you very much. Everybody stay warm.
You too, Scott, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. Next up is the application for PennDOT's Multimodal Transportation Fund. I'll hand this over to Simon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jamar, if you're here, please update the commission.
Sure. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. So the city, at the mayor's direction, started on this project, I'd say about 2 years ago. We held some community meetings back when Starlight Lounge was still in existence over on the 600 block of Penn Street. So really, the idea started with business owner feedback about how do we help restore some of the foot traffic on Penn Street. And a lot of the feedback was, well, there's nowhere for people to park because the few spaces that are available, they don't turn over often enough. So the mayor asked us to pursue it. Last year, PennDOT never quite opened up their multimodal application like they should have due to their budget fiasco. So we have a brief window that just opened, I would say about a week ago, and it closes, I think, February 13th. And so we're pursuing a two-phase process. We're going to group the PennDOT multimodal application. We're going to pursue $3 million in funding for the 400 block of Penn Street. And then we're going to do a phase 2 application for the 500 block of Penn Street. Combined, there are currently 50 parking spaces. This redesign would grow to about 120 parking spaces, between 110 and 120. It depends on the final design input from PennDOT because we will have to relocate the traffic signals just a few feet. And then what else is there? The bus shelters, there's currently, I think, 8 bus shelters in that intersection at 5th and Penn. That'll be reduced to just 4 bus shelters, one on either side of the street. We will be maintaining the mid-block crosswalks. So that is reducing some of the number of spaces that we could have otherwise received or achieved. And I think that's the gist of the project. Overall, we expect it to cost about $8 million. McCarthy Engineering has done some preliminary design in conjunction with the Parking Authority on this. And we took it over from them and are pursuing it to the finish line. We've had significant support and encouragement from our partners at the state to pursue multimodal funding. And so we would appreciate the commission's letter of support and the planning office so that we can improve parking availability in the central core of our business district. Open for any questions.
That's great. Yeah, I hope we get it.
I think that's, if you take a look at how many parking spaces were on Penn Street in the 50s and 60s, I think this is a significant improvement. I know that if I drop by the liquor store downtown and want to get a parking space real quick, maybe 2 out of 5 times I can find a parking space where I can go, on those 2 blocks where I can quickly go in and do my business and leave. So I think the parking turnover is a significant concern from the business owners downtown?
Personally, I've had to park illegally to run into that liquor store. Yeah. And so it will be angled parking. We will maintain the angled parking. It'll just be on both sides of the street, on each side.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Pottstown where you have to back in, is it? Please no.
So,
that's
and
racist.
I defer to the engineering experts on this. The current design, it is front parking. But on a recent call, it came up that the design professionals currently advocate for the back end parking. For I think safety reasons or something like that.
Actually,
and Michelle, now that we all have backup cameras, I mean, come on, it can't be that difficult. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We'll go for a ride sometime, but I understand. But there's a reason I don't go to Pottstown, so.
UGI actually at all of their facilities require back-end parking because it, according to national safety standards and reports, there's a 30% less chance of an accident in a parking lot if you have back-end parking.
Yeah, but I believe the experts.
So that's probably the reason why. Like I said, UGI requires it at all their facilities.
The last thing I would say is it's really important that we marshal all of our efforts on all of these really big applications that we have coming in. And if you're not aware, the city recently won a couple big awards. We got multimodals for the 18th Ward bike trails, layer 1, and I think layer 2, and then layer 2 and the bike trail itself, and then the Jerry Street connector, the beginning part of that 3-phase project, also received a multimodal award. So we're doing good with getting these awards, if you're not aware.
Any comments from the commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Will. I'm very favorable to these ideas. These are things that I, among others, have suggested myself over the years. Have we checked this against our, I forget what the title was exactly, our downtown improvement plan and the transportation overlay district plan?
Yes, and the parking study, all of the above.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Vision Zero plan. I don't know if that's
Right.
one of your. Which,
Yeah,
I think so. I think these all fit with that, but I just want to make sure that that was looked at and.
Yeah. So maybe 2 details I left out. We are looking to do raised crosswalks at the 4th Street and 5th Street intersections, probably.
That would be wonderful
if we can. And the double-sided angled parking in and of itself is going to help to slow traffic down. Has been part of the deliberations and discussions.
Will we be able to redo the crosswalks? They're in the crosswalks that I don't know if they're bricked or whatever. They have pavers in between them, but they're starting to heave, and becoming turning into speed bumps, I guess. Is that they need some repair, I suppose.
Yeah, so Public Works maintains them currently, to the best of my knowledge, and keeps an eye on them. But making improvements to those crosswalks has been part of our design plans, Peter.
Yeah, I think I had expressed a wish for raised crosswalks before too, so that's terrific. Would love to see the plans.
What we did recently, because we have this short window, we did an updated contract with McCarthy, nominal 4,000 to update the designs and get them to 30% level, so that when we submit the application, I think on February 10th is our plan. We have that updated cost estimate and design included.
Very good. I will also mention, I don't know, I don't think it was part of this administration when they redid 3rd and Penn Streets, they removed those pavers and then painted, or was that 2nd and Penn?
I think it's 3rd.
Yeah,
On the eastern block. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they put down that they put down those painted crosswalks, which are kind of neat. And that's something that Planning Commission members have been asking for years because of the cost of maintaining those pavers that were put in the 90s, I believe.
I defer to powers that be that are much bigger than me on that. In my short, it'll be 7 years in March. The prevailing sentiment among the governing body has been they like the pavers and they do whatever we can to keep them in place. But I defer to whomever gets to decide on that. But our current plan, though, is to lift them. And as close to their current iteration as we can.
Okay. Any other comments?
No, we should support this, I think.
Yeah, 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 I think so too. Okay, so Jamar, if I have this incorrect, just let me know. Do I hear a motion to recommend the staff to submit a letter of support for the current application for the PennDOT multimodal transportation fund request?
Yes, sir.
I'll do that.
Okay. Was that Peter?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. Okay, second? I'll second that. Okay, question on the motion?
Does it need to include the name of the project, Penn Street parking redesign? I don't know.
No, this actually gives you the ability. This actually gives you the ability to anything that's in the current funding cycle.
Okay.
You can apply for anything you want.
Okay.
But we know you're going to apply for Penn Street. But who knows what PennDOT's going to do in the next few days and change things.
And if I could respectfully ask a place on the agenda in late February or the 1st of March, because we're going to be back to apply for the DCED multimodal for the other phase of this project. Same line.
Okay, I think Simon and Jesse, if you could take a note of that, and we'll put that on the February agenda, which is let me see, the 24th of February, and that way we can keep things moving forward on this project, because I know this is a few years in the making.
Yes, absolutely, and it'll still be at least a probably 2-year construction period.
Okay, great. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Or
Aye.
no. Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. You have your letter of support or whatever you need from us, Jamar. But we do appreciate you keeping us in the loop on this, because initially, in my opinion, we were not kept up to date enough, since it was initially it was initiated by the parking authority, and they're a little secretive over there.
Do you have a form letter? Do you need me to prepare the letter? Jamar, what's the?
Let me check with my grant manager, Enid, and we have a template that we've been using for like the legislative offices. So I can just likely just send you that template.
Okay. Or if you want to draft it, whatever works. So just let me know.
Yeah, no, I'll likely send you what we use for the legislative offices and kind of just switch it over to planning office language.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jamar, for joining us today.
Thank you. I'll take my leave if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem at all. It's all just regular business. The rest of this.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, if I could ask Simon on the or for the conditional use, do you need me to prepare that resolution, or will you prepare it based on prior drafts?
We could prepare based on the prior drafts, since we
Okay.
have done, and just verify with you if that meets the condition before submission.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. Next up, we have our update on our zoning ordinance amendments. I will hand it over to Simon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I would like to start to talk about parking and loading ordinance, which we were supposed to present on 20th of this month. Upon the final review by the council, they found out that there was an area which was section 1603 of the zoning ordinance, which they thought needed to be, there are sections which needed to be added, especially in 1603B, 3, and then 1603C. So they recommended that we establish a working group where the council collaboratively with the planning office and the representative from the planning commission would work together to make sure that that section is addressed. So that group is established, and I'm requesting that at least 2 representatives from a planning commission are identified so that they can be part of this working group for us to look at these ordinances together before they move to the council.
I have already volunteered for this. So we just need one more member to volunteer. Okay. Then I will select somebody. Nelson,
I'm already up to my eyeballs.
What's that?
I said I'm already up to my eyeballs.
Yeah, I know. You're already up to your eyeballs and stuff. That's why I will not even ask Peter
Thank you.
for anything, because with everything going on with the Criz, I'm sure that's more than enough. Nelson, would you like to join me on this endeavor?
Sure, depends on the time that I need to allocate to that, because I'm quite.
Okay. It should only be 1 or 2 meetings.
Okay.
I won't go beyond that.
Nelson, we're just down to a few minor issues to consider, and I think just to make sure that if there's other questions that are to be questioned, then we could resolve them in advance of the council's hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't going to be like a year-long project. We're a meeting or 2, we're done.
Oh, okay. I like those 1 or 2 meetings.
We've spent enough time on this already.
Yeah.
And I already discussed this, that, that, yeah, this is going to be a very, very once and done thing. So, Jamie?
I agree. One or two meetings. I mean, that should be because I as well will be with you guys there. So.
Okay. Well, we greatly appreciate that. And yeah, so yeah, we'll take care of this very quickly since we've been looking at this for year and a half, 2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. So all right, very good. So we have our working committee. We just need to get the dates from city council when they want to do this.
To assist with the dates, do you want me to plan to attend or just communicate as needed?
I think Linda is taking charge of that, Michelle. She's kind of facilitating that, so
I'll reach out to her then.
yeah. Yeah. So, Mr. Chairman, do I go to the next one or I wait for?
No, you can go ahead to the next one.
Okay. On the home occupation, both home occupation and the CC and MC district permitted uses, we did submit these ordinances to the county, and we did get feedback from the county. We got the review letter for both of them. The home occupation ordinance, we would like to take time to review and consider the county recommendations. The CC and MC district permitted uses ordinances, the county comments mainly complemented what the staff had basically put together, and I would like to request the commission to consider giving us an authorization recommending this so that it can move forward to the council for consideration.
All right. On the CCMC district permitted uses, any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Do I hear a motion to recommend to City Council to adopt the revisions to section 600-807 and section 600-811 of the zoning ordinance covering permitted uses in the commercial core and manufacturing commercial districts?
I'll make a motion.
You just look a little brighter because
what was that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I heard that, James. I was hearing something else too. Okay.
Second.
Do I hear?
I second it.
Okay, Nelson. Okay, question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, very good. And is there any update on the transit-oriented development?
Yes.
Zoning.
Yes. In December, after we did submit comments to the consultant, we were able to receive a revised version of the TOD ordinances. We did send a copy to the county for their review. We are waiting to have them send us feedback by the next meeting next month.
Great, very good. And taking a look at who's here with us, I see no public comment. So, let's see here. Was there anything? No, I don't think there was anything else. Does any of the commissioners have anything for the good of the order?
Mr. Chairman, I believe the councilperson Baez wanted to rediscuss or wanted to review the discussion regarding the parking authority, and he was unable.
Correct. So what we discussed was that we're going to part of our motion was that the city has to give approval for extending the lease, since the city is considering other options for this location. which is 213 South 11th Street.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear the condition on it. I know that I had a very good conversation with the executive director from the parking authority. We want to be able to work together to bring something that's going to bring, and as you know, when you think of certain parcels, it's like we have to be able to bring in revenue for the city, and the best thing for that would be to have, especially at a time like right now where we don't have housing, is having housing, right? So we should try to be winning on all areas, right? Not only on the city side, the resident side, constituents, that includes parking with hopefully housing. Right now, of course, nothing is concrete, so I'm just theoretically speaking, I'm just excited that there are conversations happening around the lot, and that hopefully we'll see something regarding housing there. And I'm going to certainly continue to advocate on behalf of residents in the city of Reading for housing. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm glad that the executive director was kind and had a very good conversation, and that this is seems to be moving in the right direction, at least from my point of view.
No, and I'm glad with the communication that I've been receiving, because it didn't occur. I was kind of wondering what was going on, that City Council didn't know that the parking authority already had something for review in front of us. But we've received good feedback from City Council as to what they're thinking. So, that helps us all.
Yes, and kudos also to the administration and community development. I know Dave, I got on a call with Dave and Patricia, and we, it was a good discussion regarding trying to move that particular lot into something that residents, could be useful, and I think that housing is the best course of action, although that's not, I can't just, I can't say that will be the ultimate, what it will be, but I know that I'm going to push for that, and I'm certainly going to advocate for it.
Very good. Okay. I also want to add that I forgot to notate it, but we are joined by, it seems to be obvious now that we will be joined by Don Edwards as our representative to Public Works. We wish Tim Kroll, of course, as we did last month, a great retirement. I'm not sure how many years he was here in the city, but I've known Tim since before he joined the city. So it's a well-deserved retirement. Thank you for joining us, Don. And you'll see that we're pretty detailed as to what we do.
Looking forward to it, and I hope I'm able to make a positive impact for the city over due time.
So I think your experience in other municipalities is going to help us quite a bit. I think you've already cleared up a few things about the alleys that Commissioner Simfisi was mentioning, and the things that we might be able to do to help to help our residents.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything from anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Will.
Go ahead, Will.
And I agree with your comments about the current and previous Public Works representative. I saw in the meantime we received an email I think it was the Public Works, on the Schuylkill River Trail floodplain permit. Given the late hour, maybe somebody could present at the workshop or at some point, you know, if there's anything to say about it, any questions the commissioners might have about it. And then I noticed something on the zoning agenda. I don't think anybody from zoning is on the call tonight, but there was an appeal at 100 North 5th Street. And that's the Abraham Lincoln, I believe. So it's about a daycare. I presume it's one of the shops on the first floor. I'm just wondering about that. So the owner of record is Middle Holdings LLC. I'm not familiar with that name, but that could be one of the developers' companies. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because I printed out the zoning hearing board agenda and I lost it somewhere among here in my paperwork. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, there were two things in that block. 150 on the same side, west side, the 100 block of North Fifth, and then 100. I think that has to be the Lincoln.
We should also consider that I'm not sure what's going to happen, but sadly, we have had two major fires across the street from the Lincoln that are now gutted. Hopefully, we will see projects. We will see projects. Happen from the ashes of those major fires. So we wish everyone the best for getting back for restoring those two buildings. Okay.
In absence of Emily, I was hoping we were going to have someone from zoning to join us tonight, but I think with the weather conditions and all the ice on the roads and all that, people went home early to make sure they get there early. I apologize for that.
Yeah. No, we completely understand. I'm surprised my wife's home. I didn't have to dig out a parking space for her. Okay, our upcoming meetings. We have a workshop meeting on February 17th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And we'll ask Don to talk about this very minor thing about the Schuylkill River Trail and the development on the fringe and what he knows. Of course, Don doesn't know that the Schuylkill Schuylkill Greenway Association met with us last year to give us a preview of this. So hopefully they have given Don some updates on what they're thinking, and we can talk about that at the workshop.
One thing I can add is I think zoning will need to provide the next steps for the Schuylkill River Trail extension that we're talking about. The floodplain permit may be issued before then, but zoning will know more as far as what the next steps are moving that project forward.
Okay, great. Then if Emily doesn't have time to take care of that, we can ask someone from zoning to come in and join us on that meeting and give us an update. Since this, I've also seen that there's funding requests for Confluence Park and a few other things that are kind of related. So would be nice to have an update on all that stuff. So we'll get that information together, and I'll talk it over with Simon and Emily, and we'll get it on the agenda. The regular meeting is February 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. I assume we'll be back in the third floor conference room. However, once again, this went very smoothly. So if we need to go hybrid again because of some major storm, I think we might be able to do that. I will mention that Simon was concerned if we push this meeting back a week, that the workload on the staff and our consultants would become overwhelming. And I think it was a very good idea to just go online with this meeting, and everyone seems to have had no problem with it. Okay, with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay, Peter, second?
Second.
Okay, Nelson? Question on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Don't say anything, James.
I was tempted, but I don't know about the quorum. It may just make us last a little bit longer.
So thank you again, everyone, for your dedication to the Planning Commission. And I will see you at if not before, I'll see you at the workshop meeting. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye-bye,
Good
guys.
night.